like this forever.
It can't go on like this forever.
That'll only cause more trouble.
Don't say you didn't know that.
You don't say.
We can
Hardly
only wait
know
and
who to
see.
believe these days.
Been there, done that.
Where do you think you're going?
How would that be any concern of yours?
Then I'll have to explain it to you carefully.
Let that be a lesson to him.
Where do you think you're going?
I wanted to have a look around, that's all.
There's a heap of trouble here for men like you. Are you telling me you just want to look around? Ha! So you're headed for the farm. Why else would you have trudged all the way here, So don't give me any of that bullshit, and let me search you and you can go on your way.
Suit yourself. Search me then.
Now then, let's see what we have here. Ah, gold. It can be very dangerous carrying so much gold around. A lot of mercenaries are real cutthroats, not honest fellows like me. I only want 50 gold pieces from you. That's the toll here. And you only need to pay once. That's fair, isn't it?
I can't believe that.
It's a bad business.
I've heard a thing or two.
What do you want from me?
I want to join the mercenaries.
Oh, and why do you think I should be in favor of you being accepted here?
I wouldn't be so sure.
Hey, where do you think you're going?
To the house, of course.
Onar pays us not to let guys like you in here.
I want to talk to Lee.
What do you want from him?
He and I go way back.
You're a pal of Lee's? I don't believe a word. But go on in. If he doesn't recognize you, you'll know it. Lee is in the right wing. Don't even think about wandering around anywhere else.
Really didn't deserve that.
Nothing amazes me anymore.
Damn it. What do you want?
Who the devil let you in here? What are you doing here? I thought you were dead.
What makes you think that?
Gorn told me it was you who brought down the barrier.
Yes, that was me, all right.
I never would have thought that a man could survive something like that. What brings you here? You aren't here without a reason.
He didn't get that from me.
I'm no better off myself.
Gorn told you about me? What happened to him?
You remember him, don't you?
Sure.
He got caught by the Paladins and was sent back to the Valley of Mines with a penal convoy. If the road to the Valley of Mines wasn't plastered with Paladins and Orcs, I'd have sent a couple of the boys already to free him. But the way things are, there's no point. Poor devil.
You have to step in and sort things out. What exactly are you doing here?
Quite simple. I'm gonna see to it that we all get off this island. Onar hired us to defend his farm, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. But our reward is more than just our pay. By helping the farmers, we cut the city off from its provisions. And the less the Paladins have to eat, the sooner they'll listen when I finally make them an offer of peace.
What is your offer going to look like?
Essentially, it will be about our pardons and free passage to the mainland. You'll learn more when the time comes.
I absolutely must talk to the Paladins in town. Can you help me get to them?
What's your business with the Paladins?
That's a long story.
I've got time.
Zardoz sent me on a mission. He wants me to obtain a powerful amulet, the Eye of Innos.
So you're still allied to that necromancer. I see. And the Paladins have this amulet?
As far as I know, yes.
I can help you get to the Paladins, but first you need to become one of us.
How can you help me get to the Paladins?
Trust me, I've got a plan. I think you're the right man for it. I'll take you to the Paladins, and you'll do me a favor. But first, join us.
I want to join you.
I'd hope you say that. I can use every able man here. The last mercenaries I accepted have done nothing but stir up trouble. In principle, you can start right away. Well, first there's one or two things we need to get straight, but it's no big deal.
Get that from me. What do I have to get straight before I can join you?
Onar, the landowner, is the one who employs us. You can only stay on the farm with his approval. And then there's the boys. I can only accept you if a majority of the mercenaries agree that you join us. But don't go to Onar before everything is straightened out. He's a very impatient fellow.
All along.
How can I convince the mercenaries to vote me in?
By doing what is expected of you as a mercenary, I should say. Talk to Torlof. He's usually outside in front of the house. He'll put you to the test. If you can pass that, you should have earned a large part of the necessary respect. He'll tell you everything else you need to know.
You mustn't believe everything you hear.
What do you know about the Ring of Water?
I might have known. You just have to mingle in everything, don't you?
Come on, tell me.
I'm only marginally involved in this. I know that this secret guild exists here and that the water mages are behind it. Since the fall of the barrier, I am no longer bound to the agreement I came to with the water mages back then. Of course, I still help when I can, but most of the time, I have my own problems and barely any time for other things. If you want to know more about it, you should probably talk to Cord. He's one of them, as far as I know.
I can't believe
I'm
that.
ready to join you.
Not before you've passed Torlof's test.
I don't know why he gets so worked up.
Nothing amazes me anymore.
Everything fine with you?
So, you want to join us then, hmm? Do you even have a decent weapon?
You listen to the wrong people.
How did you end up with the mercenaries?
I came with Sylvio from the south. We belong to an army of mercenaries which fought against the orcs.
Don't say.
What's your opinion of Sylvio?
He's a dangerous fella, and many of the mercenaries who came with him this far listen to what he says. Better not pick a fight with him.
What's your opinion of Lee?
I think that the only thing Lee is really interested in is getting away from this island. He wants to go to the mainland. Seems to have a bone to pick with someone there. At any rate, he does a far better job than Sylvio ever could. Moreover, he's a good leader. Most of the time, we can do whatever we want here.
It can't go on like this forever.
Would you mind if I joined you?
Once you have passed the test, I shall vote for you.
What weapons do you have to offer?
Only the best. Just take a look at them.
Nothing amazes me anymore.
That was quite obvious.
He doesn't even know how to hold a sword.
Where did you pick that up then?
If he doesn't see that, I can't help him.
I'm not touching that.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
I don't know why he gets so worked up.
All that matters is strength. So don't tell me
I've heard a thing or two. Damn it! What do you want? Damn it! What do you want?
Don't even think about touching anything here. Otherwise, you'll get a couple upside the head, got it?
What's your job?
Onar wants me to spend all day keeping an eye on his stuff. He's worried that something will go missing, and I would too in his place. Most of the mercenaries he's hired are former convicts from the Penal Colony. They'll walk off with everything that isn't nailed down if no one watches out.
There's a whole bunch of junk here.
That's right. And most of it is extremely valuable. Onar collects valuable objects. A simple man like me can hardly afford such luxury. I stick to other things.
And that would be...
I collect old coins.
Has anyone tried to steal anything yet?
A few, and I caught them all.
Who are you?
I am Onar's wife, Maria. What do you want here?
I have a golden plate here. Would this be yours?
Yes, that is it. Thanks a million.
I just wanted to have a look around here.
With all these men on the farm now, there's no peace to be had inside the house. They just keep barging in here.
Do the mercenaries bother you?
Oh, well, at least the farm has been a lot safer since the mercenaries came. Back when we were still on our own, the militia came from town all the time to plunder our provisions. They dragged off the better part of the harvest, and they took some sheep too. They did nothing for us in return. A few of those scoundrels even stole from us.
Tell me about Onar.
He's a good man. A little grumpy and very impatient, but we've all got our faults. I told my husband, "Why do you let the soldiers from the city treat you like that? Do something," I said. So he hired the mercenaries. Now I feel like I'm in the middle of a war. But then, we are at war, aren't we?
So, what about my reward?
Do you want to hire on as a mercenary here on the farm?
Yes.
All right, if you work here, then I shall see to it that you're getting a decent pay. Come back when you've discussed your pay with my husband.
I hardly know what to believe anymore.
I couldn't care less. If he doesn't see that,
Can you help me improve my abilities?
I could show you how to use your strength better in close combat. A lot of fighters are very weak because they don't have the technique to use their strength properly. The same is true for dexterity and ranged weapons.
Put me to the test.
Did Lee send you to me?
He said you would help me.
Fine, so here we go. There are two things you have to do before you can join us. First, you have to prove that you're capable of mastering the tasks that you will have to fulfill as a mercenary. I'll put you to the test. And second, you have to earn the respect of the other mercenaries.
That's all just gossip.
Well, how can I earn the respect of the other mercenaries?
For most of them, it'll be enough if you fulfill your task and pass my test. But you'll have to find some other way of convincing some of them. Some will try and exploit your situation, and others may not like your mug. You should try to get along with as many of the boys as possible. But if nothing else helps, then you can always take part in a duel. If you win, you'll earn the respect of most of them. But watch out that you don't kill one of them by accident, because then you'll have a big problem.
What are the rules for a duel?
Got my own opinion.
Quite simple. Both opponents have to have the opportunity to draw their weapons before the first blow. You can't just go and belt one of the men without warning. There has to be some sort of spoken challenge, an insult, or another reason to fight. None of the other men will interfere in a fight like that, unless one of the two gets killed in the duel.
What are my duties as a mercenary?
Onar hired us for two reasons. He wants us to keep the militia off his back, and he wants us to keep things in order on his farms. That includes collecting the rent when the small farmers won't pay. So, what'll it be?
Nothing amazes me.
I'll deal with the militia, don't worry.
The farmer Bengar has complained that lately the militia from the city has been getting on his nerves. They're pressuring the farmer, probably trying to make him break with Onar. I want you to go to his farm and make it clear to the militia that they have no business there. Questions?
How can I find Bengar's farm?
In the southwest of the valley is a big stairway that leads to a high plain. That's where Bengar's farm is. If you get lost, ask the farmers in the fields how to find your way around the area.
Don't want to see that. I can't help it. No one really
What about you? Will you vote me in?
If you can prove that you can fulfill the duties of a mercenary, yes.
Been there, done that. Nothing better off myself. He really said that.
I don't believe this is...
Hey, you! How are things?
Hey, don't I know you from somewhere?
It's possible.
I used to deal in swamp weed back in the colony. Remember?
And what are you dealing in now?
Ah, don't ask. I brought a whole package of swamp weed with me from the mining colony. Many of the mercenaries like a little smoke now and then. I've earned a small fortune on the side. But some bastard stole all the weed from my chest. I'm pretty sure it was that Bodo. He bunks in the same room as me, and he always grins at me like such an idiot.
What are you going to do about the thief then?
One of these days, I'll catch him puffing away on my weed. And then, I'll find a quiet spot and teach him a lesson he won't forget. If I knock him down here in the middle of the yard, the other farmers will notice, and I'll pay an arm and a leg.
How come?
Quite simple. We can't rough up the farmers, otherwise Lee makes us pay a heavy fine. That's the way Onar wants it. And the more witnesses there are, the more of a fuss there is. That makes things more expensive. So I'll pull the thing off nice and inconspicuously.
I want to join Lee's people.
Lee's people? If Lee keeps on this way, they soon won't be his anymore.
Why?
Lee has always been a quiet one. It was that way in the colony, too. But lately, he's overdoing it. He just wants to sit here and wait until the paladins drop dead from starvation. Sylvio thinks we should clean up a bit on the small farms and outside the city. I think that would make for an excellent change. At the moment, most of us are just twiddling our thumbs here. Do you want to join up anyway?
I want to become one of you no matter what.
You already know that we take a vote on every new recruit.
What are you hinting at?
Well, I haven't had anything to smoke in a long time. Bring me a few swamp weed reefers and you got my vote. You can surely scare some up someplace.
About the swamp weed. Here's a few stalks for you.
Oh, you are my man. You've got my vote.
Would this package of swamp weed happen to be yours?
Well, I'll be... Where'd you get that?
It's a long story.
Doesn't matter. Really, you're a decent guy. Here, take this as a reward. Have fun with it. First, let me roll a few.
Show me your wares.
Sure. Help yourself.
How are things?
What do you want from me, weenie?
Same old thing all over again.
Can you teach me how to handle two-handed weapons?
Listen, boy. It takes a lot of strength to wield a two-handed weapon. Why don't you slink off to the pasture for a game of ring around the rosy with the sheep? Really didn't deserve
That's no secret.
I am strong enough.
Nonsense. You couldn't even lift a decent sword like mine.
I said I am strong enough.
Oh, you're killing me. Want to risk a little bet?
That'll never change.
I bet I can handle your sword.
Really? How much should I relieve you of? Well, you look like a poor sucker. Let's make it 30 gold pieces. Do you even have that much?
Sure.
Let me see, then.
Here.
All right, let's see how strong you are.
About this strong.
Looks like you got me there. I never expected that. You really don't look like you have that much strength in you. Well, I guess I just lost 30 gold pieces. Here you are. Now, give me back my weapon.
No idea. You tell
Here
me.
you are.
That's been going on.
It's no secret.
I want to join the mercenaries.
Oh, well, you wield a decent sword. You'll learn the rest. As far as I'm concerned, you're in.
I couldn't care less.
Can you teach me how to handle two-handed weapons?
I'm not a bad fighter, but that doesn't mean I'm a good teacher. Still, I think I can show you the basics of two-handed combat anyway.
He wants to know.
Better off myself. Do you really believe that? But he knew that all along.
No one really wants to hear that.
He doesn't see that.
What's up?
Since Onar announced he was hiring mercenaries, the court's been overflowing with nothing but rogues. All the rabble who didn't have the guts to come out of the woods before are here now. The bastards really came from everywhere.
You hardly know who to believe.
The mercenaries came from everywhere?
Most of them came from the Penal Colony. Another group of mercenaries came from the south, where they were probably hunting orcs. I bet that a few of the bandits from the mountains have shown up as well by now to get a free meal. Huh.
Tell me you didn't know that.
What's...
All the
If he doesn't see that, that's been known a long time.
Can't rely on that.
Hey, you!
What do you want?
Better off myself.
I could tell you.
I want to have a look around the farm.
Don't go into the building on the left. Sylvio's in there.
Is it really
He's not in a good mood right now. If he sees a weakling who doesn't belong on the farm, he might get the idea of venting his bad mood on him.
So don't tell me.
I want to join up with Lee.
Lee won't have much to say around here if he keeps on this way.
What do you mean?
He wants us all to sit around here and twiddle our thumbs. Intimidate a few farmers now and then, and that's it. Sylvio always says offense is the best defense, and damn right he is.
He thinks it's as easy as that.
Who is Sylvio?
Our next leader, if you ask me. If you plan on asking him if you can join us, forget it. You look like you're barely good for herding sheep.
Nobody wants to know.
Hold a sword.
That's no secret.
That was obvious all along. It's been known a long time.
Hello, I'm new here.
Don't take this the wrong way, but I'm not really in the mood for conversation. I'm totally wrecked.
You're awfully busy, huh?
You can say that again. Bennet makes so many weapons that I can hardly keep up with the polishing.
What can you tell me about the farm?
This is Onar's farm. That big building is his house. He vacated a wing for the mercenaries. We farmers have had to bunk in the barn ever since. But it's all right with me. It's good that we have people who guard the farm. The building here is the kitchen. Maybe you'll be lucky and Thekla will have something for you to eat.
What about the mercenaries?
Onar hired them to keep the city militia off our backs, but they also guard the farm, the sheep, and us farmers. So don't even think about stealing anything or rummaging around in somebody's chest. They're just waiting for a chance to knock you down.
Can I buy weapons from you?
I don't have much. We take almost all the swords and axes into Onar's house.
Can't go on like this forever. You listen to the wrong people. Nobody will learn anything from me. I hardly know what to believe. Can't go on like this forever.
Hey, you!
I do not sell any weapons. Khaled does. He's in the house with Onar.
What kinds of weapons do you make?
Plain swords at the moment, not much else. But if I had some magic ore, I could forge weapons that are better than all comparable weapons made from regular old steel. You wouldn't happen to know where to find some around here. Besides in the Valley of Mines, I mean.
No.
Of course not.
Are you with the farmers or the mercenaries?
You're pulling my leg, aren't you?
I was just curious.
Have you ever seen a farmer who also forges weapons?
No.
Then why do you ask such stupid questions?
Yeah, he really said that.
Can you teach me how to forge a sword?
Sure. That'll cost you a bit, though. Let's say 30 gold pieces.
Fine. Here's 30 for you.
And that was a damn good price, too. We can start as soon as you're ready.
What about forging equipment?
What do you need?
Nothing amazes me anymore.
You really didn't deserve that. To step in and sort things out. No secret.
Yeah, he really said that. You hardly know who to believe these days.
He didn't get that from me. Of course, we got him in the end.
Teach me how to forge magic ore weapons.
But you don't even know the basics. First, you need to learn how to forge a decent sword. Then we'll see.
I want to join the mercenaries.
Stop blabbering then. Go to Torlof and let him put you to the test.
That's all just gossip.
I've heard a thing or two. Did you pick that up then?
All that matters is strength. Don't tell me that.
I'm not touching that. Enough trouble as it is.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
This is gonna change.
You don't even know how to hold a secret.
I hardly know what to believe in.
What are you doing here in my kitchen?
Something smells delicious here.
Oh, yes. I know the likes of you. They're swarming all over the place. First, they try to get on your good side, and then when you need them, they're nowhere to be seen.
Nobody ever asks me.
I'm looking for work.
You want to work here on the farm? Only Onar can decide that. The farm is his, and so is the entire valley.
It had to happen sooner or later.
Actually, I was planning to join the mercenaries.
So you're another of those felons from the Penal Colony? I might have known. Just leave me alone. There's already enough of your kind around here.
What's your problem with the mercenaries?
Ah, those morons really get on my nerves, especially Sylvio and his fat buddy Bulko. The two of them have been sitting in their corner for days now, making life miserable for me. The soup's too hot, the meat's too tough, etc. and so forth.
Then why don't you do anything about it?
And what am I to do, Mr. Smarty Pants? Whack them with my rolling pin? I can do that to the farmers, but these lowly bastards just hit back.
Rely on that.
You have to feel sorry.
Want me to teach the two of them some manners?
You better not try that, honey. As far as I know, Sylvio has magic armor. He can't be defeated.
And what about Bulko?
That guy is as strong as an ox. So far, he has flattened anyone who tried to mess with him or Sylvio.
I'm hungry.
I don't dish out food to tramps. I only feed people who work. And that mercenary riffraff, of course.
Sooner or later.
I need a place to sleep.
Don't even think about sleeping in my kitchen. Go find yourself a place in the barn.
As if I didn't have enough problems.
Hey.
Hey, don't I know you from somewhere?
It's possible. I was in the colony too.
Totally
right. What do you want?
How's the situation?
Right now, we've got real trouble. Two factions are building up amongst us mercenaries. Sylvio and his people doubt that Lee is following the right plan.
That'll only cause more trouble.
How come there are two factions?
Most of us came out of the colony with Lee back then, but some of the mercenaries hooked up with us later. They didn't come from the colony, but were farther south fighting the Yorks. Somehow they got wind that Lee needed people. Their leader was Sylvio. He agreed that Lee was in charge, but now he's trying to stir up the mercenaries against him in his plan. A lot of Lee's people don't think that it's a big problem, but I know guys like Sylvio. He'll go to extremes to realize his ideas.
Do you know what Lee's intentions are?
Lee wants us to wait and starve the paladins in the city. He is planning to get us all away from the island, and Enos knows I've got nothing against getting away from here. I don't really know how he's planning to go about it, but I trust him. He's led us well so far.
He should have known this.
Do you know what Sylvio is planning?
Sylvio found out that some of the paladins have moved out to the old colony.
Who said that?
He says the rest of the paladins wouldn't dare to attack us here and wants to take advantage of the situation, plunder the small farms, waylay the militia patrols outside the city, hold up travelers, things like that. but Lee thinks that would be the worst thing we could do in our situation.
No one really
I want to become a mercenary.
I'm not sure that's a good idea.
Where's the problem?
Well, I either have to vote for you or against you. And in the situation we're in, I'll only vote for you if I can be sure that you're on Lee's side.
things I could tell you.
So what should I do?
Simple. Beat up a few of Sylvio's boys. That way both sides will know exactly where you stand. And if you stick to the rules for a duel, you'll even win the respect of the others.
What are the rules for a duel?
Go to Torlof and let him explain it if you're interested. Just so we understand each other. I don't care if you stick to the rules or not, just as long as the boys wind up out cold in the mud.
Which of the mercenaries are Sylvio's men?
There are 6 men. First of all, Sylvio himself and his right-hand man, Bulco. Then there's Rod, Sentenza, Fester, and Raul. The rest of the people are either neutral or on Lee's side.
How many of Sylvio's people should I defeat?
If you knock 3 of them to the ground, then you've proven which side you're on. Whom you choose is your business. Just one little hint. This isn't about proving your courage. Don't go up against Sylvio himself. He'll make mincemeat out of you.
That's no secret.
I'm better off myself. Ever change? You didn't get that.
Doing all right?
Hey, I know you. From the colony. What do you want here?
Do you have anything to sell?
Oh, don't ask. Bennet, one of the new guys, takes care of the weapons and armor now. In the colony, I was responsible for Lee's entire weapons store. And then along came a trained smith and pow, I'm out of a job. I desperately need a new job, even if all I do is guard the farms out there. I don't care, just as long as I'm not twiddling my thumbs here anymore.
It had to happen sooner or later.
And? Found a new task yet?
Not so far. Let me know if you have a job for me.
Of course we got him in the end.
Have you tried finding a job in town?
In the city? Wild horses couldn't drag me there. Where do you think I would want to work there as a militia soldier? I can just imagine myself in the courtier's uniform. And then that obsession with obedience. Nah, forget it. There may not be anything to do here on the farm, but at least I can do what I want.
No idea, you tell me.
Can you teach me anything?
I can teach you a few tricks in handling a bow if you want. I don't have anything better to do right now anyway.
I've come to join you.
Why not? I've got nothing against it. Anyway, you freed our mine from the guards back then. But don't count on getting along with the others here so easily. A lot of newbies have come along since then. And some of the old mercenaries won't remember you. I almost didn't recognize you. You look rather haggard.
When the barrier fell, I barely got away with my life.
Looks like you got lucky then.
That'll never change.
You have to step in and say that like it's so worked up. I'm not telling you anything new.
Hello, pretty girl.
Just where did you escape from?
Like this forever. I don't know what to believe anymore. So that was obvious all along.
Things I could tell you.
They say you are revolting against the king.
My father has decided that it's time we defended ourselves. The militia never helped us anyway. They only came here to drag off our provisions.
What kind of work is to be had here on the farm?
My father pays money to all the men who help defend the farm. Are you interested? You don't look like someone who has a passion for field labor.
How much does your father pay?
You'd have to negotiate that with him. All I know is that each mercenary here gets paid every day.
Are there any rules here that I should stick to?
You don't touch anything here that isn't yours. You stay away from the areas that are none of your business. And if you must pick a fight, stick to the mercenaries. If you start a brawl with the farmers, everybody here will be against you.
What's your job here?
I sell the goods that we produce. If you want to buy something, just let me know. But let me warn you, I won't stand for either haggling or stealing, understood?
Show me your wares.
What can I offer you?
Has anything significant happened lately?
A few days ago, my father decreed that we're no longer allowed to sell anything in town. So now I'm staying here on the farm and selling my wares to visitors only.
Nothing amazes me anymore ever change. There's enough trouble as it is.
All over again.
Didn't get that from me.
How's it going?
The militia has bullied us long enough. Now that the mercenaries are on our side, they won't dare to just show up here anymore. The king may think he can get away with anything, but we're not going to take it anymore.
In town, they're talking about a peasants' revolt.
Nonsense. We aren't doing anything except defending what we've worked hard for. It's certainly true that the war is being fought on the backs of the peasants, but Onar is no longer prepared to just stand by and watch while the king bleeds us dry.
I'd have gone about it differently.
Can I rest somewhere around here?
If you're looking for a place to sleep, go to the barn. But don't lie down in a mercenary's bed by mistake. Onar makes sure that they leave us farmers alone. But with strangers who don't belong on the farm, the mercenaries can do whatever they like.
You mustn't believe everything you hear. It's a bad business.
If you have a problem with wolves or field raiders, go talk to one of the younger mercenaries. You can come to me when the paladins show up here.
What?
Whenever one of you peasants comes to me, it's always about slaughtering innocent beasts.
I'm not a peasant.
Oh? What is it you want then?
I want to become a mercenary.
You look more like someone who's been born to work in the field, boy. Can you wield a weapon then? So, how about one-handed weapons?
I'm not so bad at that.
And two-handed weapons then?
I'm surely gonna get better.
Well, at least you're not a damn beginner. All right, I'm gonna vote you in. Whatever else you need to know, you can learn from me.
What are the advantages of one-handed or two-handed weapons?
A good question. I see you've given the subject some thought. One-handed weapons are faster, but a little weaker. Two-handers cause more damage, but you can't strike as fast. Also, you need more strength to wield a two-hander. This means additional training. The only way to become really good is to invest a lot of effort.
What should I learn first, one-handed or two-handed combat?
Those two types of arms are rather similar. As soon as you reach the next level with one type of weapon, you automatically learn for the other as well. If, for instance, you're good at fighting with one-handed swords, but still a beginner with two-handed weapons, your two-handed skills will go up as well whenever you train with a one-hander. If you train with one type of weapon only, you'll find the training more exhausting. If you always train both, you'll arrive at the same result with less effort. In the end, the outcome will be the same either way. It's your choice.
Teach me how to fight.
I can train you to use a one-handed sword, but you're not good enough yet to wield a two-hander. I don't waste my time with beginners.
They hardly know who to believe these days.
And there's more, believe me.
You listen to the wrong people. Well, nobody will learn anything from me. Nobody ever asks for my opinion.
What are you smoking there?
Want a toke?
Sure.
Not bad, huh?
Where did you get the stuff?
I have my sources.
Do you do anything besides smoke?
Not at the moment.
I want to join the mercenaries. Do you mind?
Who cares?
Hey! Hey! What are you doing here?
I'm preparing for battle.
Why?
Lately, the farmers have had more and more problems with field raiders. A few of them even managed to get themselves eaten. Fat Onar didn't exactly find that amusing. None of us got our pay for a week, and it was more or less my fault. Now Lee wants me to wipe out the creature's nest by myself. And the other boys have already made bets on whether I'll survive.
Are you a good fighter?
I'm fair with a sword, but with a bow, I'm very good. Why do you ask?
Where's the nest?
In the middle of the field here, in the big rock.
We could attack that nest together.
You want to help me? Why?
I want to join you.
Oh, so that's the way it is. You want to prove how good you are. All right. Let's attack the beast together.
Let's attack the nest.
Right now? Or do you need to equip yourself first? You could go back to the farm first.
There's no time like the present.
Good. Then let's see what you got. So, this is where they drag the dead farmers. Disgusting. The filthy things should all be wiped out now. Let's go back.
Wait a minute. What about our agreement?
Are you kidding? You didn't do anything for it.
I think your hide could do with another tanning. I don't like having my leg pulled.
Don't make me cry. Oh man, my head.
Wait a minute.
All right, you're the better fighter. What do you want?
I've got no time for things like that.
You just step in and sort things out.